Hey everyone, I'm Ronnie Barrio here with Mitchell Saltzman, and Mitchell, you got to do something I am very jealous of over the weekend, and that's playing the new Avatar Legends closed playtest. How did that go? How'd you enjoy it?
Oh man, so I saw the trailer for this game a little before it was it actually premiered, and I remember like my takeaway being like, man, this looks really cool. Like I love the fact that it looks just like the show. I love that it's 2D art and not just like 3D models made to look 2D like most fighting games are these days. But I couldn't really get a sense of how it actually played from watching those trailers. And once I actually got my hands on it, my immediate reaction was like, oh, this is like a legitimate contender for like the 2D throne. This is, it feels incredible to play. Every character that we've seen so far, that we've gotten to play so far, has a really unique movement mechanic tied to them. So it's heavily based around movement. Every character feels incredibly unique. Their movesets are just gigantic for a 2D fighter. Even though they're gigantic, they're not like complicated. They're not outside of what you would normally expect. Everything basically is just quarter circle back or quarter circle forward. But you have so many variations of how you can do them. You have something you do in the air with those. You can have something you do on the ground. You have certain buttons are tied to like light and medium. Certain commands are tied to just quarter circle heavy. There's just so much variation in these characters, and it was just a really fun time to be able to mess around with. And also shout out to the developer, because they included a training mode in a beta, and that's just something I'd like to see a lot more in these betas.
For sure. Yeah, you talked about character uniqueness, and I know there's actual different variations for each character as well. Could you break those down a little bit?
Yeah, so there's a lot of influence from Mortal Kombat, surprisingly, in this game. Both in the variations. So they're not called variations, they're basically called supports. So every character has 3 supports that you can choose at the beginning of a match. And they, like in Mortal Kombat, what is it, 11? Mortal Kombat X. Like that game, they basically add or take away something from the base kit of a character and make it kind of its own little unique spin-off of that character. So for example, for Korra, who is the character that I play the most of, she has, I think her Rava, she can choose Rava as a support. And when you do that, it makes it so that her avatar state, you get to stay in it much longer whenever you activate it, and that basically makes her a lot more powerful when she's in that state. Alternatively, you could choose, I believe his name is Tonrak, and he is a character that enhances her aerial EX moves and also gives her access to new combo routes that you wouldn't normally have in the other variations. Just the different supports that you give already give an immense level of more variation basically for each character.
What movement options do you have in this game? How's the movement feel?
Oh god, the movement feels so good. So to back up, this is a 4-button fighter, light, medium, heavy, and then there's a unique button called flow. And I kind of think of flow as like a kind of BlazBlue kind of character action button. And also, again, like Injustice, every character had a button where they would have unique skills tied to that button. In Avatar Legends, it's a unique button that every character can do something unique with, but all those things are usually tied to movement. So for Korra, for example, she can do forward flow, and she'll put her hands behind her and like shoot fire, and she can kind of dash forward, and she can do a couple of different follow-ups from that stance or from that kind of run. She can also do it in the air. If she's in avatar state, she can do a forward dash through the air. She can do a downward slide that can go under projectiles. Just a lot of different things that open up from that button. Then you have a character like Zuko, who also has that forward dash, but also has other things tied to it. Like he can do special cancels. He basically chains one special into another special into another special, and all of that takes away from a flow meter that he has. And once that flow meter empties, he actually gains a redemption charge, which further powers up his move. So again, there's just a lot going on with these characters. This game in general is just really, really fast.
Yeah.
So just a lot of different movement options, a lot of different opportunities to feint and kind of trick your opponent into thinking you're doing something, and then you do something else to kind of catch their their response.
Yeah, I don't know if it was because people saw it was a smaller team, or I think it was a game that was put on ice at one point and then brought back just kind of out of nowhere. But I think people expected this to kind of be on the more simple side of things, and everything I've heard both from you and the community at large is it really, really isn't. Like, this thing has some bona fides.
No, it really isn't. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see just in terms of like how this game does, because Avatar is, a very popular franchise, and I think people will look at this game just because of the fact that it is Avatar, and then they'll come in not having that kind of fighting game background. It'll be like, oh, I gotta actually learn. Like there's no one button. Like there are auto combos, but it's very paltry damage compared to something like Tokon or other like Persona 3 Arena. Persona 4 Arena. There's just a lot more that you have to do other than just mashing a button if you want to actually succeed in this game, which I think is great. It's also, again, I'll just say one more time, it's very, very fast. This game kind of controls like an anime fighter, but crucially, there's no air block. So that was something that I had to really get used to, because, again, you're dashing around, you're mixing people up like it's an anime fighter, but as soon as you leave the ground, you are vulnerable.
You sound pretty hot on it. Are there any concerns that you have with the final game?
The main thing is that the balance is a little off. Obviously, this is a beta. Katara was getting away with crazy kind of infinites off of very easy kind of combos. She can basically loop like light, medium, heavy into her little dash whip, and then she'll catch you on the way down, light, medium, heavy, dash whip, light, medium, heavy, dash whip, and she can do it like 5 times before she has to actually cash it out into a super. And in the meantime, you lose, like 75% of your life. So that doesn't really feel good to be on the receiving end of. So the way that the EX kind of mechanic works in this game is that there are little chakras. I saw someone call them Skittles. They're little dots that are right underneath your health bar, and those kind of govern your EX moves, your super moves. I kind of wish that was a little larger, or it was moved down to the bottom of the screen and also made larger, because I found it a little hard to really see in the middle of a combo what my resources were. That could just be a matter of not being used to it, but I just generally would like that to be a little more pronounced. Other than that, man, I am so high on this game. I think this is overtaken Tokon as being my most anticipated fighter of the coming months, the coming year. So until we see more Virtua Fighter, I guess that's the big question mark. But in terms of like Invincible versus Tokon and Avatar, I think Avatar might have taken that top position for me.
Wow. From behind with a steel chair, no one saw Avatar coming. I assume you're a fan of the original series, Avatar and Korra. Who is your pie in the sky? I need this character to be in the game.
Jet would be really cool with his hook swords. I'm really curious how the non-bender characters are going to be in this game. We had 4 characters in the beta. We had Katara, Zuko, Aang, and Korra, all very powerful benders. Obviously, I think Sokka has been announced. I'm very curious what he's going to look like, because of the fact that this is such a movement-focused game, and all these characters use their bending powers to get them to move. Toph, I believe, also is a obvious choice. I believe she's announced as well. Who is it? Is it Kylie? What's the name of like the martial arts chick? It's Kylie. Tylee. I think she's a no-brainer just because she's already super big on martial arts. She has a unique power in that she's able to seal bending, right?
Yeah,
is that her?
I'm imagining like you hit someone and you take away like their B button.
Oh God,
that would be so annoying.
Broken.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how that would work, but yeah, Tylee would be fun. I think Iroh would have to be a shoe-in, of course, fan favorite. And I'm hoping to see some more Korra, not even deep cuts, but people like Tenzin, maybe, I think could be really cool in like what does an adult airbender kind of do when he's been working with this style for his entire life. But
Yep.
Dude, yeah, I'm really excited based on what you've told me and everything I've seen.
It was a ton of fun to play over the weekend, and I cannot wait to check it out more. There's going to be a story mode. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do there, if it's going to be a retelling of the Avatar storyline all the way through Korra, which sounds crazy, or if it's going to be kind of a one-off kind of original storytelling. We'll have to wait and see. We haven't gotten any details on that yet, but this game feels like it's fairly far along with at least these 4 characters, and I hope it's a 2026 release, because I am very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Make sure you tell all the cool people you know that your friend Ronnie wants to play next time too. Not
for the record, I
here.
did tell all the cool people that Ronnie wants to play too, but I was only
gotta give you a hard time though.
Yeah, sorry about that, buddy.
It's all right, buddy. Mitchell, thank you so much for your time. And for more on Avatar Legends, please stick right here with IGN.